The first years of life are the golden stage to build the foundation for a child's intellect, behavior, and mental health later on. No words can fully express the importance of this period. Every activity you choose and the way you interact with your child every day has a direct and powerful impact on the baby's brain structure. These impacts will follow the child throughout their whole life. The technique that I am about to share is so effective because it is based on the very laws of natural brain development. When first born, the baby already has almost all the necessary brain cells. However, what the baby does not have yet is the connection between these cells. It is that network of connections that helps the baby know how to think, move, communicate, and perform all other activities. The wonderful thing is that these connections are formed from everyday experiences. Every time you play, talk, or simply feed the baby, you are actually building and strengthening the neural connections in your child's brain. Children are born carrying within them the instinct to be ready to learn. The tremendous development of the brain will occur when parents talk, read books, and sing to the baby. Although infants cannot yet speak clear words or sentences, they completely understand and are absorbing language. Your warm conversation and reading books to your child right from birth will help the baby build a rich vocabulary. Besides that, the singing voice of the caregiver will help the baby feel safe, peaceful, and learn how to regulate emotions. These simple activities not only create a strong emotional bond, but are also a solid stepping stone for language ability, mathematical thinking, and social skills, the key factors for the child's success later on. In the first few years of life, the brain works at full capacity, creating more than 1 million neural connections every second. When the brain matures, it will begin a selection process, keeping the strongest connections are used frequently and eliminating weak connections rarely used. This mechanism helps the brain operate more efficiently and sharply. This means the way you interact with your child in the first days, weeks, months, and years of life will determine which connections are kept, thereby completely shaping how your child thinks, acts, and feels in the future. Every interaction you have during these early years is truly directly shaping your child's brain. This was clearly demonstrated in a study by Koch and colleagues on 191 families. They carefully observed how parents and children interacted from when the children were 1 year old to 4 years old. The researchers focused on evaluating whether parents recognized and responded to their children's signals and needs in a timely manner. Interestingly, when these children turned 8 years old and underwent magnetic resonance imaging (MRI), the results showed children who were attentively cared for and positively responded to by their parents had larger brain volumes and contained more gray matter. This is an extremely important factor that helps the brain process information and operate effectively. Specifically, in the brain regions governing motor skills, sensory processing, and decision-making, the cerebral cortex of these children was truly thicker. In other words, simply by being sensitive and responding to your child correctly right from now, your child's brain will develop far more superiorly by the time they turn 8 years old. But the question is, how do we do that most effectively? One of the most effective secrets to building high-quality interaction with your child is the serve and return technique. Applying this technique every day not only provides sensitive, responsive care, but also creates excellent developmental results for the child. Although studies often focus on children from 1 year old, the reality is that it is never too early to start. My sincere advice is that you should start as soon as possible because important neural connections are being formed right from the very first day the baby is born. So, specifically, how is this serve and return game played? Imagine it exactly like a fun tennis match. The only difference is instead of using rackets to hit a ball back and forth, mother and child will exchange smiles, eye contact, and whispers. Just like tennis, everything always starts with a serve. And in this case, the beloved baby is always the one to serve first. The baby's serve is any action the baby does to attract your attention. It could be staring at you, making cooing sounds, a finger pointing at a toy, or tiny hands reaching up asking to be held. That is exactly how the baby signals, "Mom, play with me," or "Mom, I need this," As soon as you realize the baby is serving, it is your turn to respond immediately. You can smile back, talk about the toy the baby is pointing at, pick the baby up if they ask, or comfort them if they are fussy. After you have responded, do one important thing: pause and wait. Give the baby a little time. A newborn's brain needs time to process what you just did and plan the next action. This process might take longer than you think. Therefore, this silence is when you yield the stage to the baby. When the baby responds with a smile, babbling, or a new gesture, that is the signal for you to continue to return the serve. Keep maintaining this give and take rhythm continuously until the baby signals wanting to stop or switch to something else. To make it easy to visualize, a play session during a meal will take place like this. The baby is sitting at the table, staring at the food, and starts to fuss. That is the first serve. Some meanings: I'm hungry. You realize it and ask, you want to eat, right? While pointing at the plate of food. That is how you return the serve. The baby cries louder and waves their hands. Another serve and you respond, all right? Mommy knows you want to eat. Then place the plate of food in front of the baby. Next, the baby grabs the food and exclaims, "Hot!" A signaling serve. You confirm immediately, "That's right, it's hot, my child," and start blowing to cool the food. Then the baby holds a piece of cheese, raising it high to show you, as if to say, "Look what I have." That is another serve. You respond with a smile, "How? What do you have that's so yummy?" Finally, the baby turns away to focus on eating. The game ends here. In the example above, the baby's signals are very easy to recognize: crying because of hunger, waving hands to ask for food, and proudly showing off food. The good news is that as the baby grows up, your ability to read them will become much easier. The reason is that by then, the baby already knows how to use specific sounds, clear gestures, and flexible movement to let you know exactly what they want. Therefore, to ensure you always understand your child correctly, learning how to recognize subtle, hidden signals is extremely necessary. Don't worry, in the next video, I will show you exactly how to accurately identify which are signs that the baby is tired, hungry, wants to play, or is bored. If you find this video useful, please support me by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell to catch the latest content. Wishing you and your baby a day filled with joy. Goodbye and see you again!